Hi, I'm Christopher Dean, and welcome to part 18 of a tutorial series where we build a design system in Sketch. This time we're doing responsive cards. And once again, here we are in Abstract, and we're going to make a new branch. Let's go to the top right, select New Branch, call this Responsive Cards. Wow, that's better. Select the Designs sketch file and go over to the right and Edit in Sketch. Okay, this is where we left off last time, making the hero banner. I'm going to increase the size of this page to something like 2000. I'm going to move down. I'm going to turn on the layout and grid. I'm going to zoom in. Let's start around here. Okay, and from the library, I'm going to drop in an image. Let's grab image landscape. I'm going to drop it around there. I'm going to halve its size by going /2. And then take it to about 328 wide. Let's round out the height to 184. I'm going to group that and call this card /card article 3 for 3 column. Let's just place that underneath the banner. I might just group that and call that banner. Okay. Next up, we're going to add a rectangle. You can do that by pressing R on your keyboard. Just going to draw it right behind that image, down to about size 408. Position it behind that image symbol. And on the right hand side, we're going to go to the library, go to Shape, Surface, and Level 3. We're then going to change the corner radius to 4. Call that BG for background. Right click on it and turn it into a mask. That's going to mask off the top of the image there. And we can see that if we turn off our layout and grid. There we go. Okay, let's turn the grid and layout back on. I'm going to go and select text. This time I want DT P small primary left. Just going to drop that in there. Zoom in and make sure that that's 16 from the left. Okay, let's zoom back out. I'm going to change the text to category. I'm going to group that and call this content. I'm going to add more text, so let's go to DTH4 black left. Place that there and change this to heading. Let's move that underneath category, group it, and call this text. Just going to open that. I'm going to duplicate this by holding down Command D. Grab the one at the bottom, move that down to about there. We're going to just swap out the style over here by selecting the element, going over to Appearance, changing this to DT P black left. And we're going to size that out to 296 wide for both of those. We can do that for category as well. Okay, and we're going to change this to text. I'm going to close that folder and go and grab a symbol actually for image avatar. It's pretty big, isn't it? But we're going to resize it soon to something like 40 by 40. Okay, that's too big. Let's try 32. Move that down so it's 16 from the left and 16 from the bottom. We're going to group this and call this byline and move it below the text. We're going to open it up. Just going to duplicate that text, move that down underneath that image, move it into place, change this to author. Okay, we need a smaller text size, so let's see if we can swap that out for DT, P small, black, left. That's better. We're going to duplicate it, grab that bottom one and move it down. This is going to be date. Just going to save where we are because I think we need to make a new textile. If I go and see what we have, I've got paragraph small, black, but we don't have something like gray 2. Let's go back to abstract and open up the library file. Okay, so we're going to grab Design System Global, go to the top right and edit and sketch. We're going to go to the symbols page, go and find our textiles. Okay, let's move these down. Duplicate these 3, Command D, move that down. And what is the color value for gray 2? It is 888, 888. Let's grab that. Select all 3 and go to the color over here, paste that in. And for these, we need to make new textiles. Now, previously I would select one, go over here and go to create new textile, but I'm going to use a series of plugins to make this step faster. I'm going to select all 3. I'm going to use automate, style, rename layer to style name. You can see that that is done so over there. I'm then going to use rename it, find and replace layers, artboard names. We need black to change to gray 2. Okay, then we're going to go to plugins, styles generator, and go generate shared styles. You can see it's saying at the bottom, styles created 3. I'm going to save and go back to the other design file and see if they're there. I'm going to select that date and go to DT, P small, gray 2, left. And there it is. Okay, I'm just going to move these over and up 4. I'm going to change the name of the image avatar to just image avatar. I'm going to change the name of the image to just image landscape, so it's easier to override in the overrides when we place it into a design. And everything else looks like it's ready for resizing and pinning. So I'm going to grab that image up the top, go over to resizing and go left, top, right. and then fix size height. I'm going to grab the content folder and go left, top, right. Category is going to do the same. Text folder, left, top, right. And byline is going to fix itself to the bottom. So we're going to go left, bottom, right. And we can fix its height as well. Okay. Now, with the heading and the text, when the heading goes into two lines, I want it to push the text down. So we're going to grab the text folder, go over to the Anima auto layout features and change stacking to vertical and left. Okay. Let's convert this into a symbol and see if everything's worked. Now you can do that by right-clicking on it and go and create symbol. Or I have a shortcut in my toolbar at the top. Okay, let's pull this down and go to the symbols page. Let's select this and go to 0, 0. It's going to move it over here. I'm going to grab all the layers out of that folder. Like that. Delete the old folder. Select it and go to Adjust Content on Resize. This is going to let us know if everything is working. Okay, so the image, sizes, that's good. If we move this down, see that text layer is actually moving as well. So we need to go back, select it and select left, top, right. Let's see if that fixed that. Nope. Okay, the one above it needs left, top, right as well. Let's just check that. I think I need to grab text and fix size, height. That's better. The avatar needs to have fixed size for both width and height. And let's see if it's still pinned okay because of its parent folder. No, so let's select it. Go left, bottom. And these two pieces of text can go left, right. And we can see that the byline isn't sticking to the bottom. And I think I know why. Just going to grab it, drag it on top of content, and then drag content on top of byline. Okay, that's fine. And that way is fine too. All right, let's go back to the page. Turn grid and layout off. See if everything still works. Yeah, that's fine. Let's just save where we are. Now I'm going to drag some images into this card and then set up the type as well. And I got one of my Medium article images. Let's just select that and drag it in here. Move it over to the choose image for image/image landscape. Okay, let's place that there. We also need one for avatar. So I'm going to grab my normal avatar image, bring that in, drop it into the image/image avatar, choose image section. That's done that. And for the text content, I'm going to go and grab it directly from the Medium article. Okay, this one's Design Systems Preparation Software Services and Plugins. Pretty much kicked off this whole series. Let's go copy the heading. Go back to Sketch and drop it in the heading. I'm going to change category to Design Systems done that in all caps. The excerpt, or a little piece of text underneath the heading, can be this introduction here. Just drop it into the text field here. Okay, the author is obviously myself. And what's the date that that was published? Okay, September 27th, 2017. Just going to copy that. Okay, and then we've got an article card that we can turn on our layout and resize to 4 columns if we like. We can resize the height and then see the text wrap and push down the other text. So let's make the next one, which is going to be for an e-commerce site. Let's select this one and duplicate it by going Command D. Move that over to 500. Now, what's the width of 2 columns? Let's go back to the page. Turn on layout. Let's just draw a rectangle along 2 columns. That's 208. Let's go back. Change the width of this card to 208. Change its name to product. And 2 column. Okay, let's get rid of category. Just select it and delete it. And the byline. I'm going to move the text down. Replace this image with the portrait image. So I'm going to go to Design System Global, Image, Image Portrait. Just go 0, 0. Lock the width and height and enter 208. Turn on the grid. Change the grid to 8 by 8. And let's make its size 280 high. Let's move this text back up to about there. And we're going to swap out the style over here in appearance to center, and do the same for this to center. Okay, we want to display 2 dots at the bottom that are going to represent color. So let's just draw an oval by selecting O on your keyboard. They're going to be only 8 wide. Okay, that got picked up by the stacks there, so let's move it out. Can delete that landscape image. Rename this to just image portrait. Group that oval and call it colors. Move that below content. Drag that into place. Just going to zoom in. Give this a color of black. Going to duplicate it. Move it over. Only 4, that'll do. Change it to color grade 2. Put the first oval at the top and call this color 1. Call the other one color 2. Select both of them and center them up here. Let's actually give them a bit more space. So they're exactly 8 pixels away from each other. I'm going to turn off the grid and zoom out. I'm going to select that colors folder again, and its pin to edge is going to be just the bottom one, and then fixed size and width and height. Let's Let's make sure we've done that to the image as well. So pinning to left, top, right, and then fixed size height. Let's resize this one. Okay, that looks like it's working well, and that does as well. Let's rename heading to name and text to number value that represents how much it's going to cost. I'm just going to put 3 zeros in there. 0.00. Let's just say where we are. You go back to this page and drop that symbol in. You can use document, card, product, 2 column. Make sure that's positioned. Make sure that's positioned properly. Yeah, that looks fine. Let's turn off the grid and go grab a product image. Okay, I've got an image for the Audio-Technica M40X headphones. I used to own these, but lost them, and then bought some Bluetooth Sony ones, but these have the best sound ever, much better than the M50Xs, their big brother or sister headphones. Let's drag that in into the choose image space. Change this to Audio Technica M40X. Let's get Technica a capital T. Okay, let's spread that over to 2 lines. You can even add headphones in there. And the price, let's give them something like 125. 95. And once again, if you wanted that to be 3 columns, you can just drag it out. We'll leave that at 2. And go back and make the last card, which is a pictogram and then some text underneath it. I'm actually going to duplicate the first one again. Just going to drag that over. Change this to something like 900. Let's move that to the top and rename it card pictogram. We're going to keep this image area. Let's just change our grid settings to 8 by 8 and place a bounding box over the top. So I'm going to create a rectangle. Just going to change that to the shape surface bounding box, which is 0% of white. Going to delete that image. Group that and call this pictogram. Change this to just background. Grab the folder and go resizing to left, top, and right, and then fixed height. With the background selected, I'm going to drop in a pictogram. So we're going to go to icon 128, and since it's Christmas, let's do icon gift duo. Okay, select that and the bounding box and center them with each other. Okay, we can then move this down so it snaps into the grid. For this one, we're not going to need category either. This is going to change to center, and so is this. And we can delete byline. Okay, so that one's going to about 184. Let's give the pictogram and the text 16 pixels away from each other. Let's move this up. And we can turn off adjust content on resize and then maybe resize this to something like 304. We're going to select the pictogram and fixed size, as well as pinning to the top. Okay, now let's go back to the page and drop that in. Turn on our guide, position that there. Okay, let's see if that worked. Yep. Right, let's add some text. Now, what did I say in my demo version of this? That's right, 'tis the season to be shopping. Hurry up and get your Christmas shopping done before the crowds get in the way, with a CROUDS. Let's change that here. I'm going to copy and paste this from here, but you can write whatever you like. Let's get back to this file, drop it in. Grab the text. Okay, and let's change the heading to a larger size of DT, H for heading, H3 primary center. And give this more height. Let's make it 360. Okay, let's go back. Right click on this and go set to original size. Okay, and that looks a bit better. Let's resize it and everything's working. Great, I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup at this stage because we've noticed that the surface there is off-white, not exactly white. So I'm going to double click on that. Go back to the library. Zoom out, go and find them. Select them all and change their fill to white. Then go to Appearance, Update Layer Styles. That'll do it for all of them. These shadows are a little bit too dark as well, so I'm just going to halve the values. So on each of these, let's change that to 10, 6, this one can be 8. Let's do that for all of them. This will make the shadows a little bit softer. Almost there. And while we're here, let's go back to those text layers. Let's see if we can select all of them and change them to their shared textile name with that plugin. So let's go to Automate, Style, rename layer to style name. Fantastic, that's done it to all of them. Might as well go ahead and do that to all of the text that's here. Okay, I had too much fun doing that. I forgot to update these styles, so I'm going to grab all 5 of them, go over to Appearance, Update Layer Styles, Save, and then go back to the design file. And we'll see library updates available on the top right. Okay, that's a bit softer. Okay, we've got 3 cards. One for an article, one for an e-commerce site, and one that's pretty much multi-purpose. And we can swap out that pictogram. So let's select it. Change it to that one. The image you can swap out for anything that you drag into it. And the same goes for this one. Let's go back to the symbols page. And the last step, of course, would be to bring these back into the library so we can bring them into any file. Just going to select them all. Now, Sketch is getting better at copying and pasting things that exist in a design file into a library file and nothing breaking. Let's cross our fingers and hope that that's the case here. Let's just copy them, go back to the library, zoom out. They're going to need an artboard to live on, so let's duplicate this one. Make sure it's at the top. Rename this Responsive Cards. Do the same for this heading, so I'm just going to copy this. We can leave that called desktop, that's fine. And pasting in that text, I have to go back and copy those symbols again, so let's do that. Select the artboard, paste them in. Drag them into place. Let's move this one over here. And this one here. Let's check whether everything is still linked to its styles that exist in this file. Yep. That was okay for that image. That's okay for that image. Let's check the text. That's fine. Yeah, it pretty much does what it's supposed to be doing now. Sketch had a habit of duplicating layer styles and text styles. Sometimes when you did this, that seems to be fixed now, which is fantastic. All right. Yeah, everything is linked. Awesome, let's save that. Zoom out. Go back to the design file. Okay, and that's it. We've made 3 different types of cards that are all responsive. I hope they come in handy for you. Let's go and commit this change. And this is a new commit window, an abstract. I'm just going to enter responsive cards /done. Select commit changes. You can see that syncing up the top left there. I'm then going to go to the top right and go merge branch. Then just select merge and archive. And that's synced pretty quickly. It helps that I've got a new internet connection with the new apartment that's happening in the background that I've only mentioned now. That's why it's taken a little while to get these tutorials out. But hopefully I'm going to go back to doing one about every 1 week or every 2 weeks. And I'm going to also be moving on to doing other design related tutorials as well. So look out for that stuff. But for now, that's pretty much it. Okay. Enjoy the rest of your week and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.